because of you, right? Because of reading your books and reading your journals and all that stuff and listening to you, I've learned to balance, right? I think I'm just such a better coach when my life is balanced. That means my home life, my spiritual life, that means everything. And I've learned that. And a lot of the stuff I've read from you is that color-coded system you have. You talk about like mellow yellow time and blue sky time. And you've mentioned the journaling part, but just for our listeners out there, like you take a vacation, it's mandatory. You're getting away and you're shutting it down with your family, not just you, but your family. So just talk about some of that stuff, because I think that's really, really cool. And it's been super beneficial for me.
Well, there's mentors that have impacted me. And Wayne Cotton's a guy that I learned from back in the day when I was starting my business. By the way, I had no idea how to run a business. I was an athlete. I got hurt. And then when I was going to start my business, I had no money, no clients, no business plan. Not a real smart way to start a business on that. But I had passion. And this man who I happened to meet started kind of mentoring me and teaching me about business. And he said, you know, we need to learn how to structure your day and your life so that everything is a system. I said, well, talk to me about that, because I just kind of go with where my heart tells me to go. So we created a 4-color calendar system. And the 4 colors are yellow, green, blue, and red. And yellow is mellow yellow, time off. Blue is blue sky time, it's strategic time about your life. Red is red tape, like organizing your life. And green is green machine. And he said, hey, Todd, if you want to make more money, how do you think you make more money? And me and my knuckleheadedness, I'm like, you just work. You work your tail off. He's like, but you're already working 50, 60 hours of training people every day. You can't work any harder. You're working 7 days a week. You're teaching on Saturdays and Sundays. And you can't work any harder. So you're tapped out. And I scratched my head. I was like, yeah, you're right. So we started strategizing about life and how do you create more time off? He said, the way you start to make more money is you get more blue sky time and more mellow yellow time. I said, how do you make more money when you're off? He said, aha. He goes, that's when you get all your big ideas. When you're out going for a run through the park, when you're on the beach and you're running on the beach, or you're going out and you're skiing or whatever you're doing, all of a sudden your big ideas come. And then you take those big ideas and you put them on paper and you start to strategize about how you implement that. That's how I'm like, dude, light bulbs went off. And since that early time, that was about 18 years ago, I started color coding my calendar. And it's like, you know what, right now I'm not getting enough mellow yellow time. So I can't get the big ideas. The big ideas and things that are happening quick, the more time that you get off and away, then you're going to have those ideas. And along with that, Scott, when you mention balance is something that is a very interesting concept, because you say I'm good in balance. I'm not necessarily good in balancing all the time, but here's how I look at balance. I do look at balance. I use the analogy of an orchestra. Sometimes the drums are jamming hard, and sometimes the flute's playing soft. Sometimes the flute is playing a nice melody, and you don't even hear the drums. For example, when I was writing my book, man, I was like for weeks upon months writing, and I told my family I'm not going to be probably the best husband for a few weeks because I've got to write and I'm in a flow. But when I'm done with this, I'm going to take time off and I'm going to spend more time just on that. Or when I'm coaching my son, I'm going to spend that from 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm not going to do any work from 2 to 8. Like, I'm going to focus on that. So I've created a structure in my life, in my weeks, in my days, that like when I'm on, I'm on, when I'm off, I'm off. And all together, I call it my 10 forms of wealth. And I have a wheel, and you'll see that in the book, is the 10 forms of wealth is not wealth of money. It's wealth of mind. It's the wealth of the peace and the harmony that all of us want. We all want more harmony. We want all peace. How do you find that when you're drinking out of a fire hose? It's creating a structure. And how you create that structure is, for me, I literally, in my 10 forms of wealth, from my inner self, my physical health, my career, finances, my circle of genius, who I'm hanging out with, the love in my life, the impact and legacy I'm creating, I grade them, how I'm doing, like 4 or an 8. And then I put down goals every month of what I need to do. And right now, in May, I've got goals for them, despite the craziness pandemic that's going on. For me to be a better husband, what I have to do, I've got to shut it down for dinner time, and I got to make sure I'm there for the kiddos and we have fun. I got to make sure 8:00 I'm not working, and I'm not just going to react to everything. So that's kind of my structure in a nutshell. It's kind of crazy, but it's like been 18 years of really like honing in on that.